You know, with the Sunday off and the 10 days between the Thursday game and the next game, which is on the road at Kansas City, the Jaguars should have some time for reflection, and Shad Khan should have some time for reflection as well to see what direction the franchise is going in. He said immediately after the game on Thursday night that there would not be a change at the head coaching position, which means he's willing, apparently, to see this thing out through the rest of 2016 with Gus Bradley there. As I've said many times, I would like if Gus Bradley was my best friend. He is a great guy, and he's a very good football coach. But his grand experiment of empowering the players instead of them being responsible to the coaches and the coaching staff hasn't worked on this 2016 team. I don't know if it's because some of the new guys haven't bought in or they just don't have the maturity on the club to let the team be run by the veteran players. Remember, the Jaguars' 53-man roster has two guys who are in their 30s. Everybody else is in their 20s, and they're used to being kind of told what to do from a college standpoint. Gus Bradley has given the players the power in order to go out and be accountable to each other and to have that discipline. As we all know, there's three phases of getting anything done. There's the idea. Well, everybody who's in the NFL is incredibly talented and plays football because they're good at it and they like the game. There's the preparation. I've seen the Jaguars practice and the way that the coaches prepare these guys, and I think that's there. But the third part is the execution, and that's where it's not happening. And it has to do with so many players in key positions not being disciplined enough just to, as Gus has famously said, do your job. If you just cover your space, don't try to do everything for everybody, you do your job. You're one of 11 guys out there to do your job, then it's going to happen the way that it's drawn up on the board and the way it looks on video. That's not happening for the Jaguars. It's the team that lacks maturity and lacks discipline at this point. So if Bradley is going to be the head coach, now what? Well, Gus said in a conference call on Friday that he talks to each individual player to find out where their stress level is, and he tries to relieve that. That's fine. But at some point as the head coach, you've got to step in as a disciplinarian and discipline the players to the point where they understand that if they don't get the job done, they're out of there and they're off the roster. There's no fear, I can tell you that, in the Jaguar locker room of any sort of repercussions if they don't particularly play well. That's because the team has been embarrassed a couple of times. You can't point to anybody who has played well. Obviously, no NFL team wins when their quarterback is not playing well, and Blake Bortles needs to recapture whatever he found last year. A lot of it is his preparation during the week, as well as his total mechanics that seem to have regressed to when he was a rookie. Bortles is best, and next time he plays, watch this. When he gets his shoulders turned and looks downfield, this is when he's ready to go. How many times have you seen Blake stand there like this, shoulders square to the line of scrimmage, and then throw the ball with his arm? That's not going to work for him. Last year, you could see it. He would get in the pocket, turn his shoulders, and get himself prepared. When he does this, it's a lot of long, loopy throws that just don't do the job in terms of getting it done in the NFL. You certainly hope the Jaguars get themselves right and win some football games. But when you start looking at the roster and you look at the schedule, there's not a lot of wins in there if you kind of realistically look at what they've done so far. So I certainly hope Gus Bradley continues to try to get the culture right in the locker room. But at this point, it looks like the 2016 season is already lost.